trapping for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Modify Your Life Podcast, where I am your host, Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modified. And today, we are blessed with the presence of the present, Modified Frankie.
Yep.
Mrs. Built. Bought, not built.
But you're forcing the built part.
No, not the built. The built. You're forcing the bot.
Yeah.
Modified Frankie, how are you doing? Welcome back to town.
I'm doing
Last time we weren't even in town when we shot a podcast.
I know. I'm doing good, but I'm a little bit in shambles because I've been, if you guys follow us on social media, which I'm pretty sure you do.
Wow, don't just assume they follow us on social. At heavytomodify.com.
Actually, I have about 80 new followers this week so far.
You're welcome.
Whatever. I'm a sensation. Just kidding.
Okay.
I have to earn hokas.
Yeah.
I've never had to earn a gift.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
I gotta buy a wedding ring that costs like $10,000. So at least I can make you do is earn your freaking
a wedding?
hokas. Wedding ring. Well, I gotta pay for a wedding too.
That's all you're trying to spend?
I said a wedding ring.
10?
Yeah, $10. It says it should be 20% of your of what did it say, 5 checks. So that's about
I think 10% of your yearly salary or something.
10% of my yearly salary.
I think.
What do you? Some of these contracts, these companies trying to get me to sign? What they're asking for? No, I'm good. I don't believe in marriage. It's against my religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what religion that is, but it's against it.
Go off, King.
It's against it. How's your tracking been doing? I know everyone loves to know how your weight loss journey is going.
Pretty good.
Trash.
Anyway, I have been training more consistently.
For a week.
I have been going up in weights with my workouts.
Factual.
And I've actually asked to level up the weights.
Debatable.
On one time.
Truth.
And I've been trying new machines and they all suck.
Factual.
That pendulum.
Oof, that
Have you tried that one yet?
Ooh, have I tried that one?
I don't know.
What do you mean? I'm the one that's put the most plates on that bad boy.
Word on the street is, at the gym, you don't like to do legs.
Yeah, Big John told me that. I don't like legs, but I do it because I'm built different. I hate legs. Do you know how
there
much
was
that
this
burns?
leg workout this girl was doing that looked pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Big John, I was like, oh, look at her. That looks cool. And he's like, yeah. He's like, AJ doesn't like those.
Bulgarians. I already know what they are.
No, it was like, she's like suspended from something.
Like a Bulgarian. Probably. I don't like legs. But I guess what? Do I do them?
And you got ham hocks.
See these? You hear that? You guys hear that slap right there? The tree trunks. These were holding 650 pounds. They're monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I hate legs. I don't think anyone out there really likes legs. But at the end of the day, the people
lunges
who
is
don't
what I hate.
like legs but then still hit it, now those are monsters. Monsters. So tracking's doing good. You're getting stronger.
We're in a running era now.
I've been running like a track star.
Yeah.
I've been running. What is it? I'm a runner. I'm a track star.
I've been like fast walking to a slow jog. We're
You're
not
doing
running yet.
You're like, it's so funny because I watched the video clips of you. I'm excited to see you in a couple months. You running because right now you look so goofy.
I think it's cute.
But I look goofy too. I look so stiff. I look like cardboard.
No,
I think you just because you get paid to compliment me.
No.
I see me for what I am. I look stiff. I feel stiff. I'm getting better though. I talked to Bisho. He runs? He guy's a big runner. He lost a lot of weight himself and kind of told me like your body's gonna adjust itself. You just gotta keep doing it. It's not one of those things that you can like practice. The only thing to say practice on is your breathing. So those are there trying to focus on getting some more cardio wins, a little faster walking, jogging, maybe even running. Focus on that breathing. It's everything's got to fall in place. Is what I've been told. I'm not a runner, but we are doing a 5K. Are we doing a 5K? This is a big traveling month this month. And
so
it's been big traveling for the last 3 months.
I was going to book us for a 5K this month, but there's some surprise traveling that we can't talk about at the moment for one specific person. So I kind of have to put that in the back burner and then look at the dates for May.
Yeah, I'm excited. Next week's gonna be sick. I get to travel without you. I'm so excited.
And guess what? I get the house to myself.
No, Big John doesn't leave till the following weekend. I just found that out.
For real? Can you make arrangements?
Nope. You gotta make sure your bodyguard's here, homie. Gotta make sure you don't act up.
Actually,
no.
Food tour?
See, that's honestly, it's more dangerous. Actually, you guys would be probably. I wouldn't worry about you guys going to a club. Where are you guys going to?
Like a cheesecake tour.
A cheesecake club.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are horrible with each other.
I'm gonna not share my location.
Yeah, no, you bet. I'll stop. I'll cut you off the plan so fast. I will. You will literally try to make it. That's right. Though I pay it.
Don't matter.
It's all right. I'll cut it off. So if you're trying to make a phone call, it's gonna say, beep, disconnected. Psych. All right, what are we getting into, lady? We see you have this. People love the banter. They do. They do. I'm not. You know what's funny? I'm not like comfortable yet with like the banter. I got to be honest. I feel like I try to separate.
Keep it cute because
no, like
I'm not that PG.
There's no, you're definitely not. But like, there's like, it's like I fight a fine line of having people come to my podcast to get some type of inspiration, motivation, knowledge, some type of mindset, some type of whether it be business or whatever it might be. But like, I always remember too, like. The conversation I had with one of my clients today left me a long voice memo about yesterday's group Zoom call.
I heard some of it.
And then it kind of like reminded me like, yeah, like you have to like show not just the serious at all time. Like I think that's what the heavy talks are for.
Not the suit and tie
not the suit and tie type of stuff. So I get uncomfortable with the banter and I feel like I need to reel it in, but I also do get a lot of people like, I love the banter. I love to start off with it. Like, because people are driving to work right now. I mean, sometimes you don't want to just, or wherever it might be, you know what I mean? Wherever it is, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'll get used to it. I can understand like, modify your life. Like I wasn't serious my whole entire weight loss. I'm still not serious now. I'm like the biggest kid in the world. I'm just a kid with money.
We might make it a little less intimidating by how we approach it.
Yeah. And I think I'm just trying to find my fine tune. And also understanding too, when I have you on here, it's a big difference than when I have someone else as a guest on here. I have Big John.
Or your solos.
Or the solo one. Yeah, so it's like Modify Your Life podcast, but like there's a segment with, Frankie, and then I have my heavy talks, and then I have like when I have guests on here. So I said, it's not that I don't like the band. I just always try to figure, like I always try to put myself in a listener's like head and like, are they getting anything from this? But sometimes, just hearing people talk about their journey of their life or kind of their situation they're going through and, getting back into the gym. Like I also forget that a lot of things that we're so used to doing every single day, not everyone's used to hearing or hearing the inside of it or our thought process behind it.
Yeah.
So it's a more personal, it's a more a me thing than anything. I just wanted to share it, be out loud. So like whenever I could, we vibe out. Yeah. But we'll sit here and talk about nonsense.
Right.
I can't do that. I'm serious. Yeah, right. I'm the most immature person.
Okay. We did get a question.
We got the topic of the podcast DMs, from one of my clients, and it was really good, because like once again, it's difficult unless the question is brought up. It's very difficult to go back in that mindset, and like this is just a common sense topic for a podcast, but it took for someone to bring it up for us to kind of go over it, right? And how different our relationships with not only ourselves, but with other people now with a weight loss journey, right? So where do you want to dive into that? What part first? I know you got notes. Notes. I'm paying you good, so you better have notes now.
So I just broke down because there was like one topic, but there was like a few questions to follow up that. So we'll start with the beginning, and it said it'd be cool to hear about how weight loss has positively impacted your relationship with others, and whether it's people not being part of your life now or making new friendships.
Yeah, so let me take you back I was about 20 years old. I had and I brought this up before to Big John. So I think it's multiple different things amongst the weight loss journey that's allowed me to be obviously who I am today. But in order to make sense, I'd have to go back until I was 20. So I had a friend, obviously not bringing up names, but I was really close with him, and you guys could pretty much look at him like the old version of old Big John at that time in that era. But even though it wasn't Big John, it was someone else completely. We'll call him Steve. Right, so I had a best friend named Steve, and he always looked up to me, and we were like yin and yang. We were always with each other all the time. We would hang out until the same things. We're both DJs, X, Y, and Z. And I didn't know how to be a leader, because at that time I was not doing the right thing. I was probably around 400 or 500 pounds at the time. That's a couple months before I even met you. And we would do all these things, we'd be doing the wrong things. But he would look up to me, as I wasn't really someone to be looked up to. Like the things he looked up at me for were nothing positive. It was like, knowing people, being popular, going out every weekend, being a DJ type things, right?
Fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. And I really couldn't bring him any value other than that. And when I noticed that he was going off the rocker and kind of going in the direction that I personally, I know I'm not living a healthy, positive, legal lifestyle, but I know that is not good. I didn't know how to communicate with him. Like I was just like an asshole. And I would love for you to chime in because you were around that time. So like, what was your like our friendship of me and Steve? His name's Steve. At that time, like.
Good thing I forgot his name.
Yeah,
so
it's Steve. It's Steve. Yeah. So like, what are your thought process on like how I treated him, and then don't get into how me and Big John. I want to build up into that, but like, what was your thought process of looking at that friendship?
It was a little awkward because I saw that this person looked up to you a lot, but in a sense where like he had no identity for himself. So he would like mirror whatever you were doing is what he wanted to do. Whatever you're wearing, he wanted to wear. Because again, I feel like he didn't have his own identity, but the way you communicated with him when you didn't agree with whatever he either said, did, or whatever was very harsh. Yeah. And I would have to call you out sometimes. Not in front of him, but I would tell you like, hey, that was kind of a lot.
I was really blunt. Well, because like I didn't know what struggle was. I didn't know what success felt like. I was unhappy. Like I talk about that old version of myself all the time. I was unhappy. Yes, I was having fun drinking, partying every single weekend, DJing, but it's who I was at the moment, but I knew it's not who I wanted to be. Like I wasn't proud of that person. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was having fun. I was just riding the fun wave. You know what I mean? Like no, just carefree. So, you know, fast forward into a friendship that I created with Daniel of a Premium Auto Styling.
Where the
and this is before,
reversed, right?
and where the roles were reversed. I also got a taste of that medicine of the asshole, but I also got a taste of a matured version of that. Right. And then so I got a taste of my own medicine and I was like, oh, damn, I don't like that. You know what I mean? But as me and Daniel became friends and I started working on my own self and I started making the right decisions, my thought process on people has changed just times 10. Like completely 180, because now I'm more open to communication and I'm more open to understanding that it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
And being okay with not always being right.
And and that's something that it's a hard pill I had to swallow because I was always that tough guy, that mean guy that if I said it, do it, shut up, blah, 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 blah. And it was just because that version of myself was so unhappy. So if you said something that went against me, then obviously we have a problem. Right. But that's not true though, because in a mature, someone who's really is someone who is happy with themselves and someone that is mature and someone who's learned how to leave their ego at the door will be open to a verbal communication or altercation with someone that doesn't agree with you and either agree to disagree or be able to be like, oh, damn, I was wrong. I would never admit that I was wrong because I would never try to see a different point of view. It was like my way or the highway. Right. And that just came with just having like that tough guy persona. And on top of that, just being unhappy with my decisions, like honestly, because like even going back and forth from being friends with Steve into being friends with Big John, it's very similar in friendships. The only thing is different is that Big John got me at a version of myself where I'm actually happy because I've actually put in the work to realize what happiness is. And I'm actually going in the right direction when that I feel like my grandma, my grandpa, my mom, and them raised me to go. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I see that.
Even though he looked up to me at then, I personally feel looking back now, he had nothing to look up to. Like I was a loser. Loved that guy. He was fun as hell. If you guys know me back when I was in high school, like that guy, I mean, I'm still fun now. Someone was just talking about Summer Smash. Like, are you coming? They're like, I told everyone that's going to go. Like, if this guy offers you a drink, you better hold on for a ride. Because I still like to have fun.
If Ronaldo comes out.
But the attitude was completely different towards life and towards other people. Yeah. I personally feel because I didn't respect myself, I didn't have respect for other people. And it showed. Okay. And what about you and your thought process on how you looked at things before weight loss?
With my relationships with people?
Relationships with people. Well, yeah, I guess first would be relationships with people because, I mean, we could really dive into how our lives change when we start respecting ourselves because that is the biggest change. Right. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, but yeah, go ahead.
So my relationship with people has changed. What?
Yeah, little booger, I got you.
Good?
Yeah, you're good now.
So my relationship with people has changed. It's done a 180 because, well, I've always been the type of person that I have only a very small circle, which 99% of the people is my family. And with that circle of people, I was a huge people pleaser. So I wanted to help and fix anyone's problems out of love, but also because it would distract me from stuff I had to work on for myself. So it was, if there was a party, I'm going to organize it. I'm going to call the vendors. I'm going to organize everything, pay for stuff, cook everything, do invitations and stuff that didn't even have to do with me. But I wanted to be helpful. I wanted to feel useful. but also because it, again, going back to like, it would make me be distracted from stuff I had to work on for myself. Yep. So as I started, you know, to lose the weight, my family always knows that if they want something done, you call Frankie. But they also know now that I have boundaries. So my boundary is, try to figure it out yourself first. I don't want to be your first call. But know that if you call me, I'll take care of it. But I want you to try to take care of it yourself first.
Yeah, like your first resort, but you're also last resort. Like, can you handle this yourself? Is it something that, like, unless it's like super important emotional type stuff? But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like,
I just want you to be able to explain this. People are like, damn, she's harsh.
But I am harsh.
No, you're soft.
Yes, but with boundaries, yeah. I'm harsh.
Yeah, 100%. Now that I agree with.
So, like, my siblings know, like, if anything, go to Frankie. But I also have communicated that I will still be that for you, but I need you to try to figure it out first on your own. And then come to me, because I need to work on me.
Yeah, and as you start working on yourself, what we're sharing the story of of us evolving as I guess separate people, and then we'll talk about together. I think it'll be really cool to kind of touch on that. Mm-hmm. Is that you're going to go through the same stages too, because now we're going to get into the self-respect you find for yourself, which I think you just alley-ooped right into. Let's just the slam dunk it in. You know what I mean? Is because as you start working out, as you start doing things for yourself and start becoming a better version of yourself, right? You start realizing that certain things are unnecessary for you to handle and certain things you don't have time for. Yep. And when I mean that you don't have time for things, I'm talking about not that you don't have the physical time. It's just that you're not willing to give that time to that person or that thing because it drains you, right? And something that I've realized as working myself is that my time, my energy, everything I want to keep for myself. Now, I'm willing to give my family and friends certain of my time and stuff like that, but not every single day. Mm-hmm. A lot of us will go and have conversations with family members and for them venting and hearing their cheeseman for 2 hours out of the damn day, and it just drains you. Now, regardless, it's not your problem, but as a person constantly brings you down with their problems, it starts becoming your problem because it becomes you hold it on your shoulder, right? And as you start working yourself, you realize that you don't have time for that. And now it's kind of like the saying, if you guys haven't heard it before, you have to become selfless or selfish before you become selfless. Mm-hmm. And that is the realest thing that anyone's ever said, because during my time of transformation, I loved Francine. I love my family. I love my friends. Like, I got a lot of best friends, and then when I say best friends, I'm talking about these are people that are real best friends that have a certain spot in my heart because we went through some type of something together. Right, like these aren't just people like, oh, I have multiple best friends. Can I call everyone a best friend? Like, no. I just started calling Big John my best friend because
this was new.
That was new, but I feel like he earned it. But like, you have to like, to me, like, these are people I've known since like elementary school, right? And there's a lot of people from that I used to hang out that I no longer hang out with. Once again, falls in like, hey, the category of you are no longer, we're still cool. It's not that we had a falling out. It's just like we're not on the same path anymore.
Right.
Once again, you will get there and we'll know when that time comes. It's going to feel really uncomfortable. You're going to feel like you're going to second guess yourself. You're going to second guess if you're becoming an asshole, if you think you're too good for people. You're going to second guess if you're changing. And I'm going to tell you the answer is the last one. Yes, you are changing. There's nothing wrong with changing. You should never want to be the same person you were last year.
Right.
You shouldn't even want to be the same person you were 2 months ago. Right? You constantly, if done correctly, should always be evolving and learning more about yourself and figuring out, leading yourself towards a direction.
Tweaking and getting better.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right? So as we get into, becoming the selfish part, I love Francine, but this journey was starting with or without her.
Right. The first year you were locked in and you were like, whether you're in or not, like, I'm doing this.
I feel disrespected. You just said the first year because I feel like I haven't unlocked.
Your first year.
Oh,
not just the first year.
I felt disrespected. I still feel disrespected, but I'll take it though because cameras are on. I can't really say nothing after camera. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Yeah, the first year I was you got mad at me for going to the gym too much. Yeah. I didn't care. You would start arguing with me.
People understood or didn't understand.
People would say to take a rest day. Now, obviously, I learned that rest days are important, but at that time, I didn't care. Like, I was locked in. I had no time for anyone. I didn't drink alcohol. I didn't go out and party. I didn't have time to go on dates with Francine. And now, I'm not saying take it to that extreme. Now, I do wish I would have changed some things.
But
I gave her time was very, very minimal because I had things I had to do, and then I had to wake up, and then I had to go to the gym, and then I still had to work. Like, something that people don't understand is like they see like this nice lifestyle that we live now, and they think it was like this when the start of the journey. Mm-mm. Like I was driving Uber, I was working for Premium. Like I was working my ass off and then I still had to go to the gym. I still people, I think, I don't bring that up enough. My whole entire weight loss journey, nothing was ever given to me. There's only been 2 things that have been given to me during my weight loss journey, and that is going to be a bike from the Specialized, and I'm missing one thing, and an e-bike while my other bike was getting worked on. Thank you to Gravity Bicycles. They're a big part of my weight loss journey. Other than that, nothing else has been given to me during this weight loss journey.
Yeah.
And I still had to work. I still had to pay bills. I still had to figure out how to pay bills because I wasn't making that much money.
We're starting new businesses.
We're starting a new business.
With that.
I still had a relationship to maintain. I still had, and then at the same time too, during going through all this change, not trying to true trauma dump, I also had to figure out me and Francine were going to work out because her mindset did not click for a while, like almost 2 years into my journey.
It was a lot of headbutting.
It was definitely a lot of headbutting. I hate fast food lines. I still hate fast food lines. I've gotten better, but I still hate fast food lines. Unless it's in and out, they don't count, right? But as I'm explaining all this stuff that's going on, it sounds like a lot. This is something that happened over a period of 2 years, right? That's 365 days times 2, right? But as I was going through this change and becoming selfish, yes, my mom and my family wasn't happy that I didn't make it to a lot of events. And yes, Francine was mad that we wouldn't go eat fast food every damn day. But these are all things that I had to separate myself from because I knew it was leading me to a path of destruction and something that you have to realize. And I'm not saying that you're at this point. So don't say, oh, well, I'm not there, so I'm good. No, don't do that. Take yourself where you're at now, your version of rock bottom. My version of rock bottom was suicidal. They didn't understand the feelings that I felt because I never expressed it. No one knew I had suicidal thoughts until they heard me on Andy Frisella's podcast. That's the first time my whole entire family even knew about that. And some of them don't even know because they didn't listen to the podcast. No shade, just, whatever it might be, whatever it is. So as the time I'm going through this and becoming selfish, like they didn't get to my version of rock bottom. And you have to understand that the people that constantly see you in this miserable state of mind, but you're having so much fun, air quote, if you're listening without video, air quotes, so much fun, they don't realize that you're actually at your lowest of low, depressed, stressed, maybe suicidal, maybe, self-confidence is low, whatever. No one really knows what you feel except for you. So understand that. Don't expect anyone to understand the grind that you need to go through and the mental toughness you need to start building in order to just lock in and just kind of push everyone away for a second. And know that you're not better than them. It's just that you got to focus on you, right? Like that, it is what it is. And I said, I love Frankie. She's been with me from the jump at well over 600 pounds, 650 pounds. She loved me at that size. But at this time, I didn't care about my relationship. Like I said, I'm not saying this is the right thing to do. I'm letting you know this is my story. That I didn't care about the relationship. I just lost my grandpa. I didn't give a crap about anybody. I just knew that I was sick and tired of being overweight. And if I didn't change it, I was going to die, and then my sister was going to get older, and then no one's going to be there to take care of her, and it just makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's just in a nutshell, right?
Well, so, the reason I had to get selfish. I hung on in the beginning when you started becoming selfish with your journey is, one, I loved you, but that's never going to be enough, but you did communicate with me throughout, like, the stages of what you were going through.
Yep.
Because sometimes I would tell you, like, hey, like, we haven't, really been hanging out. You're like, hey, well, come with me to the gym.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, oh,
damn, I'm still telling you that 4 or 5 years later. That's crazy.
So you were really good at communicating your feelings and your expectations throughout. So I was never left to guess. That's why I stuck around, because it was very uncomfortable for me. And I was also like kind of like in the unknown, because since we first started dating, it was always some kind of weight loss journey that never stuck. And in my mind, I was still like, well, it's only going to be a matter of time.
Week or two.
Yeah. So I was very confused at the time, but you were really good at communicating, like, your feelings, also, what you're going through. Well, except for the big one.
Yeah.
And, what your plans are, what you're doing.
Yeah. And also, too, want to kind of reiterate for those that didn't watch our first, like, real serious podcast. She's always have opportunity to leave. Like, I always told her, like, hey, I love for you to always be there, but you do not have to do this with me. And I've said it probably 1,000 times to the point where I said it a couple months ago to you. Right? I'm always going to remind her that you should never love someone enough to live a miserable life. Like, that's horrible. And I know which way I want to go, and I know which direction, I know which path I'm moving. And it doesn't mean that, we're humans, we evolve. Right. And maybe one day you do, when God forbid, but maybe one day you wake up, you're like, I don't want to eat healthy no more. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to worry about my Mac or whatever it might be. I always let you know that it's okay. Like, it's going to suck. Trust me. Oh my gosh, it'll suck. But I never never. And for those of you listening out there trying to figure out like how to get your wife or your husband or whatever to do, you also have to be okay with them not changing with you because this is who you want to become.
You've always left the door open for communication. And you do check in with me every so often.
I know it's a lot because I know it's a lot to handle.
It is.
You know, it's a lot to handle from social media standpoint of like, you have to make sure like I'm doing good if I see a whole bunch of comments whenever you something viral. I know it's a lot to handle with like, I'm go, Zoom call this, training this, closing call here, go business meeting here, traveling here. Like, I know it's a lot to handle, but at the same time, I do know that I'm worth it all.
Yeah.
But I still know that it's like, okay, it's like every year we get busier. So I always want to check up on you, make sure like you're good.
Yeah.
Right. Like my goal this year is to travel more with you. Not far, but like how we've been doing because I feel like, you know, for the last 4 years, it's been a lot. So I always have to be able to check up on you and, you know, and want you out there to do the same thing. Like always check up on your person. It doesn't have to be you guys both on a weight loss journey. Just check up on them. Just say, hey, are you happy? Like, I think it's a question that people get scared.
You do really good with that.
Thank you. I think it's a question that people are so scared to ask their other half because they don't want to know the truth. But I think it's like, it's really healthy possibly. Yeah. Well, yes, 100%. But it's really healthy because like, I would hope you be honest. Cause like, think about it. It's like me taking you just to get chocolate milk every single morning for the last 2 years and you hate chocolate milk, but yet you go with me to drink it because that's what I like.
Yeah.
No, give me strawberry milk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So this whole entire time, like, it's always good to be verbal because you're going to change. Like, hands down, like, you are going to change as a person. I've changed on what I accept or what I expect from Frankie. Frankie probably now changes what she expects from me. I change, you know, how she presents herself. I change how I want my girlfriend to present herself. I change how I envision my girlfriend to give me the best version of herself. Like, a lot of stuff that I never cared about before now changing. Now, someone would say like, oh, well, why would you care about that? I care about that because I care about myself.
Right. And the things that you do ask of me, you give in return. So it's not that it's just me giving. It's like you usually give first and then you ask the same of me.
Yeah. Well, the only way to lead is from the front.
Yeah.
I mean? And so like getting to that question you asked me, I went on a little tangent like I do.
Always.
That's what I do. Right. But what's your input on yourself and how you became, because I could tell a couple of things already off the back, but I want to see what you say because I don't know if you want to share everything. So like, what about you becoming selfish with yourself, like, and working on yourself during your journey? Because everyone hears about my journey, like you becoming selfish with your surroundings, with yourself. How did that go? Like, how did it feel?
Uncomfortable. Yeah. It felt very uncomfortable because I was always so available to everyone, including you. Remember that you would tell me like it's okay to say no sometimes because
sometimes
to the outside world you can't tell me anything, you can't get one over on me, you can't come at me at all, but to my people I'm the biggest pushover.
Yeah. And you know what's funny as you sharing this, it just reminded me of so many situations where now it makes sense that you were in such a big mental battle because like, and I'm bringing up right now is like when my mom would ask you to do something, you would say yes right away, but you're in the middle of being selfish. So you said yes as in the old version of Frankie.
And then I'd get upset with myself.
You would get upset with yourself because you forgot that you were trying to change.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you said no to my mom at all.
That's just
you don't want it's just an example.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny because now it's clicking. It's like, yeah, it makes sense because like you were in the middle of fighting yourself.
Yeah.
Like there's times where I would still go to fast food lines and then get in line and not order. I would get so mad at myself, but I was in the middle of change. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you were really fighting your own over yourself
but
because
your
you were too
really
available.
Supportive because I've had conversations with her and it's something that I do have to work on is me reaching out to her more. Because everyone knows usually you have to call me because I don't know what it is.
Spoiled.
Maybe. But I was like, had a little mentee be like Carla says. And I told her, I was like, sometimes I'm so overwhelmed. Like every time that like there's any type of event, I feel like I'm coordinating or I'm cooking or blah, blah. I was like, when will I get to the point where I could show up with a store-bought cheesecake?
I said never.
And because the expectation that I set for everyone is,
you got to make the
Frankie
cheesecake.
Doing? What is she bringing? What is she cooking? Everyone's like, well, what do you need for XYZ? Like everyone's like helpful, but the expectation, I set it. But then I explained to her, I was like, when will I get to a point where I could just buy a freaking cheesecake and just show up somewhere and it'd be cool?
Never.
And me not feel bad about it.
Never. You're a good cooker. I'm sorry. Like, I won't accept it. I mean, you could not feed anyone else, but you think I'm going to eat a store-bought cheesecake?
And this man, for like...
smoked out.
The holidays, he wants us to make like 30 dozen tamales, all different kinds. Yep. And I'm just like...
And we do it every year.
Can we buy them?
Nope.
And he's like, absolutely not.
Heck no. Lady, you have a...
I know,
I wouldn't even say a stay-at-home job. You have a part-time stay-at-home job. You think I'm gonna once a year? You're not gonna make. And I help you make them. I do help. I help you make tamales.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
You know what happens though. This is what happens. See, this is what David Goggins was talking about when he said it's harder to wake up in silk sheets because now she's in some silk sheets and she can't wake up to go and slap a couple tamales around.
A couple.
It don't take that long. We knocked them out. We made like 30 dozen one year, and we were both. You were like $3.99 or whatever you were, and I was like $5 something.
Remember when I used to sell tamales at my old job?
Yeah, you made me forget. About
18 dozen a week.
We forget how hard. No, let me take it back. You forget. No, I'm saying we. We as in everyone listening. Mm-hmm. We sometimes forget how hard we had to work to get in the position that we're at. Remember, there was one day in your life you were praying on this day. Mm-hmm. Remember that. There was one day in your life that you were praying on this day. That means to be where you're at today, right? Whether it be this nice job, drive this nice car, to be able to afford this vacation, whatever it is. There's one day that you prayed on, you worked on it, and you had to do a lot of work to get here. Mm-hmm. Right? No matter what you have, right? No matter how little you think it is, it does not matter. You have something today that you've always wanted, right? So 100%. Therefore, do not forget the things that it took you to get there, right? Don't forget the freaking, the tracking, the gym, the working, the late night hours, the blah, blah, blah. And don't get to that one point, that first finish line in life, and then start digressing and stop focusing on the hard work, and then hit the next one, Mm-hmm. So like, what's sometimes, next? Yeah, exactly. That's how my brain works. I get a finish line and I'm looking for the next one.
I know.
Where's it at?
But even when you were at your thickest, you were always like that. Because when I would achieve something, like say, for example, with work, I would tell you, hey, I closed this many deals. And I'd be so excited. And then you're like, and you would be happy for me and then congratulate me. And you're like, okay, so what are you going to do next month? And I'm like, bro, can we just simmer in this moment?
Well, think about it.
And you're like, no, what's next? And it would get me so mad.
Well, think about it. You come home, you just got a raise, you're happy as hell. You go in, I'm proud of you, babe. Good job, good blah, blah, blah. Whatever, slap on the butt, kiss on the forehead, blah, blah, blah. Maybe go on a celebration dinner, right? Track your food, right? But okay, what did that do? You go to work and now you stay stagnant and you don't work hard because you don't want there's no person in the world, rich or anything, that says I make too much money. Mm-hmm. The people with good mindsets, right? There's no such thing as making too much money. If I made $1 today, how do I make $2 tomorrow? How do I make $3 the next day? Oh shoot, I only made $1 a day. Well, how do I make up for that $2 I just lost? That's how your brain should be working, because what it is we get to this certain point in life and we get lazy. Right? And what is another word for lazy? Complacent. When you are comfortable, you are lazy. Right? Think about it right now. As you're listening to this podcast, think about the time that you felt the most comfortable in your life, and tell me you didn't start losing the shit you worked for. Tell me you didn't start showing up late to work. You didn't stop tracking your food very shortly. You didn't stop giving 100% of your time. Why? Because you got comfortable. Mm-hmm. Replace the word comfortable, lazy, and I guarantee you'll start changing your mindset.
It won't make you feel good.
Because we're not done. We only got 75 years tops. 75 years average on this life. The way life's going, we only got 75 years on this planet. Make it your best. Yes, I get it. Enjoy yourself and find your type of balance. But at the same time, when I pass away, I want my kid to know, damn, my mom and dad created this heavy to modify brand and helped over 2 million people lose weight in the last 50 years or whatever it is. I want bigger for my last name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anyone should be like that. You don't have to have a social media following. You should want big for yourself no matter what position you're in. Even if you have $2 in your bank account, you're fucking 500 pounds, and you drive a 1945 Honda Civic, if they're even made at that time, bro, you make sure that's the cleanest Honda Civic. You make sure you work your ass off, keep it clean, have respect for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're at with it. You can be at the worst part or the lowest part of your life, but yet still find a way to create respect for what you have and to want more of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people are like, oh, well, it's materialistic. Well, materialistic shit gets bought by people that work hard.
Ooh.
Sorry, it's the only way you could afford it.
I wish I could afford Hokas.
I can. I could buy you like 7 pair right now. But you didn't do your 5K. You didn't do your 5K, lady.
I need to take like pre-workout.
Nah, yeah.
3
that's why you've been asking. No,
espresso.
the reason why I'm making you do this and making you earn these Hokas is because there's about 10 different things around this house that you get and you love it and you don't use it. And it's not just weight loss stuff. It's a whole bunch of different things. So that's a bad habit, right? You're so excited to get it, right? And then
am I a little spoiled?
In a way you don't have to work for it. In a way you do, but in a way like you're not swiping the card. And then you get what you want and then you don't use it, you don't touch it. But I guarantee if you had to go work a 9-to-5 job and you bought those Hokas with your money, I guarantee you would be using those Hokas every day. Or at least, once or twice a week.
Okay, I might be a little spoiled, but I don't feel like I should have to work for them.
It's not just you. It's a lot. We all do it. And I mean, I look at the remote control car story. You know what I mean? My grandpa bought me a $500 remote control car.
I do take care of the stuff, though.
Yeah, but you don't use it. Dusting it off ain't taking care of it.
Man.
Using it for what it does. Or just donate it to the gym or something like that. We have so much stuff here you don't need to use. Look, your Apple Watch. The thing has freaking
I don't know where it's at.
More dust off than my black book in high school, baby. Gotta blow it. Yeah, I know where it's at. It's sitting where all our other stuff goes.
Oh, okay.
But what is the last part of her? What is the last part of? Oh, you know what? No, getting into our relationship, how much it's changed. Well, first thing I think we talked about having respect for yourself. That is the biggest change. So, reiterate on that real quick. Having the respect for yourself comes over time of you putting the work and you start realizing you're worth more. Mm-hmm. But that is like an empowering thing.
Yeah.
Like we literally moved from California to Vegas because we had to separate ourselves from certain things and certain people in certain situations because I respect my time so much where I had to come, and not everyone is blessed to do this, and I completely understand. Remember, me and Modified Frankie are well aware of our lifestyle and that we don't have kids at the moment. Mm-hmm. So we can't just get up and move whenever we want.
Yeah.
But I was so selfish and had so much respect for myself and my relationship that we had to get up and move because we had bigger things to do, and I just didn't want to get sucked into drama. And not bad stuff. Like I feel like maybe I shouldn't use the word.
The word escapes me, but it's just the constant.
We had to focus on this brand. We had to focus on everything you listen to. For those of you,
we were a shoulder to like cry on, or can you go even if you're at work? Do you mind going to pick this up for me? Can you watch this person for me? Can you take someone here?
We needed to go just further enough away, or just far enough away to where
we can't.
There's no point of having us as the option because we're 3.5 hours away. But we're close enough, so if anything serious happens, it's 45-minute flight or 3-hour drive, and it's happened. Yeah, unfortunately, right? Because that's how serious I take my brand, and I know I just had to separate myself. Once again, I'm well aware that is definitely a luxury, but you don't need to move away to separate yourself. Right, you just need to understand that you need to distance yourself from certain people or certain things and set the boundaries. My boundaries are very high. Mm-hmm. Certain days, Francine, Big John, do not bring up any negativity, especially on the days where like I have like the group Zoom calls or if I have to do content that day. Like I don't want to hear anything. Even my clients know, and I joke around. I always tell them to call me whenever they're going through something, even if it's on a Sunday. But I always tell like some of my clients, I know negativity on Sunday. Like that's my day. You know what I mean? But if they know
you do take your mental health very seriously.
I do because I have to. Well, think about it. Like this is my mental health. Like if I die from a heart attack, no one's dying but me. Mm-hmm. Right? If I get a heart attack from being stressed, no one's getting that stressed heart attack but me. Right. So I have to protect myself and also too, by me protecting my energy and myself, it's allowing me to be a better coach and a better boyfriend and a better friend because I'm thinking clear. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how much better of a sister and a daughter are you since moving to Vegas and now you think clear? Like I would love to hear that because I don't think you're talking to one of those bar girls.
I feel like I need to do better.
Really?
I need to do a lot better.
I feel like you do better. honestly, from looking at it, like you're honestly looking the outside in, I feel like you do a lot better. I feel
I have a lot of guilt.
Okay. Well, everyone has guilt. I mean, I have guilt for not being there for my brothers and sisters because of all my partying and drinking and obesity and not going to family trips. Like I have that. But I'm talking about like, I feel like this is like, you're always there for your sisters and you're always like, I feel like now when you're there for the family. I feel like I'm not
there enough. But I think it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
But, why am I emotional?
Keep crying. We had good views on the last time you cried. I'm just saying.
Okay, I went away because you said that.
I'm just saying.
Because my family would always try to make spending time with me as easy for me as possible.
Oh, like to move around, like
yeah.
This boss
like
lady
if it was
Frankie.
an activity, it was like only things that they knew that wouldn't like make me tired or that I was interested in. Like they would they would prioritize me.
Yeah. We're talking about weight-wise or just you in general?
No, because of my weight. There was a lot of things that they would accommodate me for. But they wouldn't speak about it.
It was just the norm.
Yeah. And then now that it's not the same and that they don't have to accommodate me as much, I feel like I'm not giving them enough.
That makes sense. I mean, I never really thought about accommodating for obviously our weight is
your
different.
Family and my family would accommodate us a lot. But because they loved us so much, they would never make the announcement of, we take this car because they're going to be more comfortable in it because they're bigger. Obviously, there was never like those conversations. They would just do it.
Yeah. I just turned down everything. I got to a point where I just turned down everything. So,
because like, especially your mom is so accommodating.
Oh, that's her love language.
Yeah. So,
everything.
But again, they wouldn't like
announce
title it of like, yeah, like, oh, we're going to do this because that's what they're going to be comfortable with. They're not going to be that tired. Or your mom would make sure that, you know, the seating was right when we would go out to eat and stuff. And like, I would notice those things and I'm very thankful for it. But, and on my side too, with my family, they would do the same. So, I do have that guilt of like, now that you don't have to do these things for me, I'm not showing up enough for you.
I see that. But I also think that you're looking at it a different way where that was you 5-10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like you were evolving to like the point now where it's like, say regardless if you stayed the same weight, I feel that you still would be only have this amount of time to give to someone because you still be equally as busy because you're a mature adult now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So like now, like for me and the guilt that I hold is like I was always busy, right? And what I mean by that is that I was just full of shit. Like I was like, just being honest, like I was too busy to go to family things. I just couldn't fit in them. I was too busy making a whole bunch of videos for a whole bunch of companies, but I just didn't want to go because I was too lazy.
Yeah.
Or I was too, you know what I mean? Like that was my thing until like, you know, recently, last year, my mom would always call like, oh, you know, sorry, Mio, like I know you're busy. I'm like, hey, I was like, Mom, I'm not that person anymore. I am not busy. I was like, I am efficient now. As long as you let me know ahead of time, I could do anything. And I don't have missed any. So it's interesting that I do hold that guilt, but I don't feel guilty anymore because like, I feel like we made it to every event and we have a good time. You know what I mean? So like, I really don't hold that guilt. We are making
it to big events for sure now.
I definitely don't hold that guilt anymore. I mean, it still sucks. Like this time I can't get back with my brothers and sisters and my family. But I don't hold that guilt because now it's like, I'm actually an efficient person and I'm not the liar saying that I'm busy. And I feel like my mom sees that like, oh, wow, my son is actually doing these things. And not saying she never believed in me, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before they were just lies. You know what I mean? Then we started doing tacos and the meal prep company and people are like, oh, wow, you guys are doing so much and blah, blah. So it's really cool to like, it's really cool to really see yourself evolve into, ourself evolve into me for being such a big BSer and to actually becoming that person that I was lying to say I was. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you too, because you do a lot. You are busy now.
I'm a stay-at-home
You have a full-time job without a job. Mm-hmm. What did your brother say?
Oh, I hate him.
Your mom, your full-time mom without a kid?
When he asked like, what do you know? I was like, oh, I'm working. He's like, oh, I thought you were a stay-at-home mom without kids.
That cracked me up. You know what I mean? Well, yeah. It's very interesting to hear your. I never honestly. I was such a dickhead. I didn't pay attention if my family adapted to my weight or not. I didn't care. Like I was just an asshole. I'm telling you right now. Like I think I
overanalyze everything, so I always catch things.
Yeah, and that's how I just didn't care. Like, cause I told you, I was a very big asshole. Like, people would have hated me 5, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. I don't know how you put up with me, honestly. To think that I was an asshole sometimes and to be 500-600 pounds and you still put up with me, that's crazy.
Well, no.
Like, I wasn't abusive to you, but I'm saying, like,
no, not at all.
Like, I would just say reckless stuff.
You're just blunt.
Yeah, I'm very blunt
sometimes.
But I think being blunt and not being someone that walks around with pride or does the right thing, I feel like that's just an ignorant person. Like, I'm actually very embarrassed of that version. I'm proud of that person for changing, but it's like kind of looking back, like, who did I think I was?
You're like cringe.
Miserable person, you know.
Yeah.
And to how I look now, where it's like, now that's where a little bit of my guilt is. I correct my guilt. I feel is like I was such an asshole before. I feel like I corrected now by actually being a nice person, but I want to be. So I don't want anyone to think I'm being nice because I feel like I have to get rid of my bad karma. I'm genuinely just who I was raised to be now.
Yeah, well, because you're happy and you're fulfilled.
Yeah. So I could be a friend, a best friend to Big John and be there for him and actually be able to teach him and have something to teach him and know that I could bring value and not just to let's go out every single weekend and watch you destroy yourself while I destroy myself. Mm-hmm. Along with you, I know that I'm giving you my best version of myself every single week, every single month, and I know and I expect the same from you, and I know that's what you expect from yourself.
Yeah,
you know, and
it's just a lot. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, but it's
also all stuff that like I would want to do anyways, but I'm kind of like nudged into doing it instead of just I would like to do that. Well, and it's like, oh shoot, he's doing that. Oh fuck, now I have to do it.
Well, I'm always gonna lead. I'm always gonna lead from the front, like you said earlier. Like I never ask for something I haven't done. So, and I also still understand that it's not gonna happen because I did it right away. I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with one day if you not wanting to do it. Right? You're an adult.
I'm on the wagon with you. I'm just a couple steps behind.
A couple miles, but yeah, you're right. We're good.
Oh, just 5K behind.
That's only 3. I say about like a 10K. I mean, I see you, but like I gotta put my binoculars on and I see you moving.
But I'm coming.
You may be in the McDonald's line, but I see you. We made a couple little pics. No, we don't do McDonald's. That place makes my stomach hurt. You know, I do love their breakfast from McDonald's. I just refuse to go because my stomach. Something's not. It's not worth it.
I don't care for the breakfast.
I love their. It's something about McDonald's cheese is just. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. This is what it is. Mm-hmm. Did we cover all the aspects of that question? Because I really did like that question. I want to make sure that we covered it because I mean this is really inside. Oh, our relationship.
Yeah, it says has it strengthened your relationship with you and Frank?
This is a very easy answer. Yes. When you now.
We have to elaborate. But
yeah,
yes.
I know. Yeah, you have to. Because like I'm thinking like I'm overthinking it. Shut up and talk. Wait, so we have been with each other at our absolute worst, but at the time we didn't know it was our worst, right? At that time we didn't know it was a problem, nor were we trying to fix a problem, nor were we trying to look for a problem.
We were each other's
She
crutch.
was her heaviest she's ever been in her life with me. I was my heaviest I've ever been in my life with her, right? Now, because our late relationship ended up working out, which was a lot of work, it has been the best thing for us because, you know, and we talk about this. We're really open about our conversations and what goes on in our thought process. And we don't wait a whole 2 weeks of build up frustration and then have a conversation. Like we have it right then and there.
Yep. And
we've always, you know, I've always kind of talked and said like, hey, no matter like if you choose to leave me one day or whatever happens or whatever we broke up, like there's no one that could replace what we have. Right. And I'm not saying that should keep us together forever. Right, because at the end of the day, people may outgrow you may outgrow someone, but no one could ever replace what me have because she loved me for my worst, and now she gets my best.
And I didn't see it as your worst. That's the craziest part.
Damn, tell it to the stairs. God damn, tell it to my breath.
But
heavy breathing.
Do you know? Maybe this is a tangent, but you know how you said like, oh, you love me when I was bigger, but I feel like you love me more now. And then if I were to gain weight, you would probably leave me. And I feel like you're right.
Yeah.
But I have to elaborate on that.
What is it?
So I did love you a lot at your heaviest.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I love you the same, just deeper now because we've experienced more things together.
Makes sense.
But I would second guess our relationship if you gain the weight back because then I would think something happened for him to lose all of the stuff he was working for.
Yeah, because you've already. Well, think about it. Like you could give someone the
actual weight itself, but what it would represent.
What it would represent. Yeah. Well, think about it. Like they say in business, you could give them more, but you can't start giving them less. Mm-hmm. So if I've already gave you this part of like, it's kind of like those people that are like rich. They're rich and they get married into a rich family, whatever it is, and they lose everything. Like they don't know how to act.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's like uncharted territory, right? So it's like, if I'm sitting here working to give you the best version of myself, I'm talking about how much I changed my life and I'm putting the work in our financial and our physical and our mental and our spiritual is changing. And then one day everything starts going to crap again. Yeah, I don't think you accept it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
All right.
So I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
So I don't have options to get.
But it's just, no donkey for me. No. But that's just how it is. So our relationship, and I would love to hear your side too. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they would love to hear your side too. Is that there is no other woman in the world that can have the same relationship that me and Francine have with me. If that makes any sense.
I feel the same.
We've been through a lot. Obviously, from not only me growing from literally being 20 years old. But growing into, losing my grandpa, into becoming the weight loss journey and becoming where I'm today, and Steve Harvey show, like so many materialistic things, but so many milestones and so many tragic situations, and then businesses, and then conversation. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like all that compiled in one. Like, there's no replicating it. So even if we broke up, like, there's no replacing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it I feel like when two people really put their mind to change their life around together, I don't feel like there's any bond that could be, could be tougher than that. That's what I personally feel.
I feel the same way, because if we didn't work out for whatever reason, like I couldn't rebuild what we have with someone else, because I would be starting a relationship with like the best version of myself to date. But it's like, would you have loved me at my lowest? Because I already had someone who did.
And that's probably a really unhealthy way to look at it. But I mean, that's just how I think we're both looking at it the same way. It's probably really, because like they don't care about how you will look before, and this is how you look now. So it's like kind of like, it's kind of like the person that's people,
like, but at the same time, it was part of me. Yeah. And it's like, you were willing to love me and at that phase of my life. And it wasn't just a physical thing. It was the mentality that I had and how broken I was. And it's like, you helped like heal a lot of the things that needed to be healed. And it's like, now I'm going to give a healed version to myself, to someone else that didn't help any of it.
Someone else gets the good roller coaster,
exactly.
Huh? I got the broken one.
Yep.
I got the one.
And you fixed the train track.
I got the McDonald's ice cream machine. It's never working, and all of a sudden it got to work, and now all of a sudden everyone else gets to eat off of it. That's crazy.
Exactly.
No, but I get that. Like I'm very, and like
so
I said,
I couldn't have a connection like that with someone else.
Yeah. So it did change. It changed everything. Literally, let me just end the podcast by saying this: I promise you that you focusing on yourself and your health, and your financial health, and your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, whatever you're seeking for. I promise that you get out there and you really focus on that. You focus on you, right? Not the person sitting next to you, not the first person on your MySpace top 10. I am talking about you. You get out there and you focus on you. Yes, you're going to feel like an asshole. It's okay. You're growing. Yes, you're going to feel like maybe people are saying you're too good for them. Yes, at the moment you are, right? Just let them think that, right? But you start focusing on yourself, your life will start changing. You're going to look at things differently. You're going to handle things differently. You're going to have a new form of respect for yourself. You're going to respect your own boundaries, and you're going to make sure that other people respect your own boundaries and the boundaries you set for yourself.
You have to respect yours.
You're going to, but first you got to respect yourself. Changing, this podcast and this story and me and Modified Frankie and what we share is so much more than a number on a scale. It is literally two people that were at their lowest, but yet at their heaviest, right? Their unhealthiest, their low self-esteem, their self-respect, self-love. I started losing. Obviously, you don't think of suicide if you got love for yourself, right? And we rebuilt. And it's crazy to say that we rebuilt separately, but yet we ended up on the same path. I started before her. She started after me. We're still not on the same path of rebuilding, but yet we still have a connection, because we work and we keep working on each other for each other. Side by side. We're just, sometimes she likes to, stop at that. She likes to go to that McDonald's drive-through real quick. Just, you know what I mean? But, so by leveling up yourself, I promise you will be leveling not only up your life, but you'll be leveling up the people around you. And the people that do not choose to level up with you are the people that you no longer need in your life, right? Because I know she brought up also one of the questions is about the same friends. I have none of the same friends. I have none of them, but my best friend Caesar since elementary school. I have what we call Modified Frankie. I have Daniel. Carla. Ooh, damn, almost got punched in the face.
Oh, you're just mad because she's going to be in Miami.
She's in Miami right now. Pissed me off. Right? I have a lot of people that I have acquaintances, but they're talking about, and when I say that, I'm talking about people I hung out every day, talk to every day, listen to their drama, X, Y, and Z. That's what I mean. Mm-hmm. Every single person that I didn't name is still my friend. I still love them, but I'm not on that path.
I only had one constant friend, and I had to leave her behind.
I didn't know you were going to bring that up or not, because that one right there I felt was let go because you started realizing that you had, we could save that, but because that's a whole nother 30-minute conversation. But
I could summarize it by saying that we were on the same path of destruction together. And then we also decided together to be on the same path of weight loss. And I feel like there is no victim in why we didn't, continue to be friends. But because I take accountability that I was also in the wrong with some things. But at the end of when I decided to end the friendship is because we were going in two completely different ways, which I was completely fine with. But when I felt that my growth in my business and what I wanted to do was being judged by that person, that's when I cut it off.
Yeah. Because you knew how much work was getting put in. And you at that time thought that we were working hard.
I was judged. We didn't know about 2023 and 2020. And I'm like, but I don't work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like, you should be
proud of you. You should be happy
proud for me. Or celebrating that I'm trying to work for something better instead of being judged for not wanting to go to the bar.
At the end of the day, true friends you'll be able to share your success with. Mm-hmm. True friends will be happy at your change. They'll be happy that you're going on a weight loss journey. They'll be happy that you're trying something new. They'll be happy that you're starting a business, and they won't ask for shit for free. They're gonna open up their wallet. They're gonna tap their debit credit card, and they're like, "Yo, let me support you." Mm-hmm. They're not gonna ask for shit for free. They're not gonna make fun of you for working extra hours. They're not gonna make fun of you for getting on Instagram and sharing a story. Like, they're gonna support you. And I'll tell you right now, this is life. This is not from a book I read. Mm-hmm. If that does not happen from the people that you would do it for, then you are in the wrong group of friends. Those are not friends. Those are just people that love to be with you while you're at some of your deepest, darkest times, but they don't want to see you shine bright because then it's going to force them to level up, and they don't want that. So therefore, you don't need that person around you.
And you have a really good circle of friends. Like, even, I don't want to name drop, but like even one is signing up with his wife to work with you. Yeah, when like he has like unlimited access to you, but he's like, hey, like, you are what we need.
Those are friends. I'll tell you that right now, because the worst thing that a person that is so-called a friend could do is go up to you while you're starting to do something new and then ask you for something for free. Mm-hmm. Right? Or judge you for starting that thing, or make fun of you, or saying and now I'm not saying there aren't people that that will do that, but those aren't the people you want around you. I'm not saying that the person's a bad person for doing it, because they're trying to shoot their shot to save money, but that's not the person you want in your circle. Yeah. Right? When you have a circle of friends and even family members, if you don't feel comfortable with sharing your success and your journey and the work you've already put in now, don't expect them to hop on board because you said you're going on a weight loss journey after you failed them 900 times. Mm-hmm. Don't expect it for them to have faith in you like that. But if you put in the work and you're starting something, you have a blueprint to show, you have some success to show, and there's no support from that, I'm telling you right now, they just like seeing you miserable because they're miserable.
They're in the same boat, and they want to keep you on that same one.
Don't ever try to press someone who got a pot to piss in. Ooh. That said, this is Modified Life Podcast, where I'm your host, Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modified. We got Modified Frankie on the 1s and 2s today.
Thanks for watching today.
Thanks for listening. I hope this brought value to you. And if it did bring any type of value, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. Our goal is to hit 100K this year on YouTube. I've been on YouTube since
like qualms. You need to comment.
Oh yeah.
I get a bunch of DMs about the podcast. I'm like, sis, comment.
Just drop. It helps us out. Let me know we're watching. having a podcast is a very cool but very weird. It's like a weird feeling because we see the views like 300, 700 views, like blah blah. But then you see no comments, so it makes me think like, did no one get value from it?
But I get DMs about it.
But I get same thing. I get my clients will say something too. But it just what? At the end of the day, they're
But we love you for
understanding having the podcast that you have to be okay with opening up in that comment section of something that was like, oh dang, I didn't think that this was me who would constantly do stuff for other people, not myself. So I get in a way. But we always appreciate comments. We always appreciate shares, and definitely appreciate all the above shares, likes, comments. All that, because our goal is to continue to do this for the rest of our life and continue to bring value, because I think it's safe to say we found our purpose, and that our purpose is into bringing purpose into other people.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for listening. Hope everyone has a great Friday.
Smell you later.
And see you in the next one.
All this happened for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man. It can't be.